All right, we are live. Hi, everyone. I am Dawn Loading. I am a real estate agent for the past 20 years, and I'm now building an amazing team of real estate agents and helping them along this crazy but fun and rewarding career path. So, welcome to my group. So, you're most likely seeing this in the group Real Estate Untangled or on my Freedom to Flourish channel, wherever you're at and however you find us. We're so happy that you found us. I have a monthly guest speaker, and today we are lucky enough to have it be my good friend and coach. And she's also a real estate agent. Her name is Angela Kristen Taylor. So, Angela, thank you so much for joining us today. And we're going to talk about something that a lot of you real estate agents are really going to resonate with, and that is being a sales matcher. Is that right,
Mhm.
Angela? Is that the right
Oh yeah.
phrase?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sales matcher.
yeah. I
That's the
watched the
one.
podcast. I watched your podcast on this, and I just loved it. And I was like, oh my
Mm.
gosh, I know so many people like that. That's
Oh
what
yeah.
we
And you're
all
like
are.
that. You're a
Yeah,
sales
I'm like
matcher.
that. I'm a
100%.
matcher. I'm a matcher. You're a matcher everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I love it. And, it's really good to have a title for something like this because I know, like in my real estate career, there's been certain companies that I've been with where they kind of look down on people who don't have like super high production or who don't want to
Mm.
be a mega agent. And I hate that because
Yeah.
there is a place for everybody in real estate. If
Yeah.
you are smart enough to get your real estate license and then you do it right, like it could be a great part-time job. You just have to stay current on everything. I know I'm always sending
Mhm.
my agents because I have several part-time agents that are, you just have to stay up to date on the legal and know what you're doing and have a great team that you can bounce stuff off of. And that's what I've really
Yeah.
tried to create. I've
Yeah.
created a whole team of sales matchers. So
Hmm.
let's hear from
Yeah.
you. What exactly is this?
Yeah. So I think the best thing is to differentiate between a sales matcher and a sales hunter. And it's really just about where your motivation is. Like, why are you in this role to sell in the first place? And that's really the key point of whether you're a hunter or a matcher. So sales hunters are very focused on the numbers. They're in it for the thrill of the kill, so to speak, right?
Ew.
They just want to, like, well, it sounds ew, but it's not really. There's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with that. There's no good or bad really in the matcher versus hunter. It's just a style and a motivation behind why you sell. So some people are really lit up by the conversion factor. Like, they love to meet new people, come in, make the sale, and then they're out of there. Like, they're on
Yeah.
to the next one. And they're just really excited about that. Like, I did it, I converted them, I sold them, and now they move on. Right. But
Yeah.
a matcher is motivated by the service or the product that they provide. So as a real estate agent, matchers are very focused on, I helped this person, this family, I helped them find their home, or I help them
Yeah.
sell their home and connect them into this next phase of their life, whatever it is, right? You're motivated by the service. And it's what happens is that in a sales training situation, sales trainers are trained to train the hunters, not the matchers, because they don't differentiate between hunters and matchers. They differentiate between, here's my go-getters and here's my
Yeah.
lazy ones over here that don't really work, you
That
know?
that that makes so much sense because I'm just gonna say when I heard you talking about this, I was like, oh, that's me. And I've always thought of myself as more of a relationship builder. Like
Mhm.
I brought these people into my world and they are now a part of my life. And I want to bring
Mhm.
value to them, not
Yeah,
just sell them a house. One of my
exactly.
taglines is we want to welcome you to our communities, not just
Mhm.
sell you a house.
Yeah.
And, we have client appreciation parties. We do all these different things. And I know a lot
Mhm.
of agents that do this. Then I
Mhm.
also know a lot who are like, just close the deal, close the deal, close the deal.
Mhm.
Don't follow up on their database. Don't do anything like that. And that's okay too, if that's what you want to do, I
Mhm.
guess. And And this is where we need to stop comparing ourselves to others and do what makes us feel good and where we fit in. And so I like where I am with that sales matcher.
Yeah.
I have a family, and I think as a mom of four, I've been able to raise my entire family with this business and this career and have a good income, but still not be so busy that I don't get to go on vacations or I don't get to,
Yeah.
you know, be
Yeah.
with my family.
Yeah. Well, and see, and this is kind of where that misnomer takes place, because when the trainers are training to the hunter mentality and not to the matcher one. And
Yeah.
as a trainer, you're told focus on the top 20%, because those
Mm,
are your go-getters. Everybody else, they're going to kind of cycle in and out. Those are the ones that you're going to have that high attrition rate with, right?
yeah.
But the thing is that the matchers actually are much stronger salespeople than the hunters. They have the ability to build a much bigger, stronger business with a much
Yeah.
stronger foundation than the
Yeah.
hunters ever will, because the
Yeah.
hunters are not your relationship people, like you're saying. The
Yeah.
matchers are the relationship people, but they're not trained from that perspective. So what happens is the matchers have this experience overall of feeling like they don't fit in, or they can't do the things that they're being trained to do. Cold calling and door knocking and databases and calling the database asking who's ready to buy or sell a home and things like this kind of feel a little icky to them at times.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're like, I don't really want to do that. I just want to build relationships with people. I want to connect on a real level and feel like I'm making a difference in someone's life. I'm making an impact. And so what happens is the matchers focus more on their education and their development and really understanding the business that they're in, and not so much focus on the numbers and how many sales they make. And so what happens is that the matchers oftentimes will show up with a lower income, a lower closing ratio, things like this. But it's all based in their self-esteem and feelings of I'm doing it wrong, versus
Yeah.
focusing in. So like what you've done, Dawn, is you've really focused and highlighted on these strengths that you have as a matcher, and look at what you've built. And you've
Yeah.
built this because you've said, I'm a matcher and I'm proud of it and I'm going to work
Yeah.
my way. And then you're blowing it out of the water, right? But see, the most matchers don't feel like that. Most matchers feel like, because of the whole training system, and that they're not the
Exactly.
hunters, they're not top of the leaderboard, that the self-esteem just keeps getting lower and lower and lower. And then they jump ship and end up going somewhere else thinking, well,
And
maybe
that's
this company will
such a
support me better.
that is such a shame. That is such a shame. And that is why everything that I teach, freedom to flourish in real estate, literally is all about all of the ways that I've created a sustainable business for the past 20 years. And I do an average of somewhere between 40 and 60 transactions. I've had better years, I've had worse years, but all in all, that's about where I'm comfortable. Now, that doesn't mean that it's a ceiling that I need to break through. It means that it's where I want to be because I'm raising my family. Now I am bringing other agents on to EXP and helping them build their businesses like that. So I fit great with the sales matchers because of that reason. And that's why so many people in my group, Real Estate Untangled, resonate with everything that you're saying. Does not mean you're doing something wrong. We have a guest right now that is saying, here I was 8+ years into this and thinking that maybe I am in the wrong profession. I am totally a matcher. You totally are, Rebecca, and so many of us are, because that's what this business is what's so beautiful about this business is that you get to create the business you want, and
Yeah.
it doesn't have to fit what everybody else thinks it should be by
Mhm.
any means. But because of social media, because of the way we were taught, and a lot of the brokers that are out there teaching us 10 exit, 10 exit, 10 exit, like I'm like, I'm just gonna exit. I'm not buying into this whole 10x. I'm just gonna exit because this
Uh-huh.
is not my style. And you
Mhm.
really helped me see that a few years ago. I started coaching with Angela, and
Mhm.
we've just been on the same a path ever since. And so I'm super grateful that I know that I'm a matcher, and I'm proud of it, and I wear that flag
Yeah,
well.
absolutely. And it's funny because when I started out in real estate, I was 19. And so I started as a real estate investor, and
Yeah.
I bought houses and was fixing them up and then renting them out. And so when I was 22, I had 4 houses, and I'm like, I'm going to get my real estate license because I feel like I could, use my commission to pay for my closing costs, and maybe I could buy more houses. And so that was kind of the thought. And then when I was taking the class and learning everything, and I thought, I really like this. I want to be a realtor. So I kind of started on that path. And so at 22, I became a realtor, and I had all this training that I was getting as a realtor. And they didn't have the training back then that they have now, because y'all, that was when MLS was in DOS and code. And it was way back,
Yeah.
like, or before the internet really was a thing. And we still had dial up. And so when I was getting the training that I got, it was very focused on the numbers and cold calling and calling for sale by owners and withdrawals and expireds. And like, that was the thing. And so I went to this thing where they were having a shadow an experienced agent. And so what she had me do was call people who were advertising their home in the newspaper and saying that I wanted to preview their home for buyers that I was working with. And so the problem that I had with this right off the bat was I was said, well, I'm not working with any buyers. I'm brand new. She goes, yeah, but they don't know that. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm lying. And she goes, but they don't know that. It's fine. And I'm like, I don't like this, but I guess if that's what I have to do to be a realtor, I'll do it. So I call and I do this. And so I got an appointment. And so she shows up with me. She's going with me. She's doing the whole appointment, not me. I'm just there watching, right? And we get there, and she immediately turns it into a bait and switch, where we are now pitching a listing presentation to this for sale by owner that had no idea that's what we were there to do, because we said we were going
I hate bait and switch.
Yeah, we said we were there to preview the home for buyers, not give a listing presentation. So he was mad and kicked us out.
Yeah.
And I was like,
wow.
absolutely. And I thought, this is not how I want to do business at all. So I literally left that company and went to a different company who kind of left me alone and let me do my thing. And I said, you know what? I don't have any problem calling for sale by owners or expireds or withdrawals, but I'm going to call them and I'm going to be real. And I'm going to make real connections. And so what I did was I called and I said, hey, you know what? I'm a realtor. I know you don't want a realtor to sell your house. That's why you're doing it on your own. But I put a website together where I can showcase for sale by owner homes. And if somebody comes to me and wants to work with me as a buyer's agent, I'd love to be able to put them in front of your home. If you're willing to pay the commission on that side, that's great. But if not, that's okay too. I'm just here to help. And people were like, wow.
That's
really?
Exactly what I do. I literally just started a for sale by owner funnel into my business because, the market is what it is right now. And it's starting to pick up a little bit, actually, which is great. But last year, toward the end of the year, it just stopped here in my area anyway. And so I have been 80 to 90% of my business is referral based. And so I've never really had to go out there and do any of that for the past several years. But as I bring agents on, I want to have more leads coming in. And so I started a for sale by owner campaign. And part of it is giving them all this valuable free information that they could use, and just building that relationship, getting them onto my VIP database and
Mhm.
just getting, having them. Like, and so it's just so funny because everything you say is exactly what I do. And here I'm a sales matcher, and I just never really even thought of the fact that that's how I'm doing it.
No,
And so,
100%. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that what happened from that was that I would have, can you still hear me? Okay.
yeah,
Oh, okay, good. What happened from that is that some people they would sell their house on their own, and that was fine. I would help them with paperwork and things like this, and they would refer me to other people who did want to work with a
yeah,
realtor. And that made a huge impact on me right away. And so I did that for 3 months without anything. And then I had 3 closings in a week. And it was
that's
like, it just
awesome.
took off from there. And then
Yeah,
when I started having kids, and I thought, I really don't want to work right now. I just want to be a mom. And so I decided that I was going to just be a mom and join these little mommy groups. And so back then, all we had was Yahoo groups. We didn't have Meetup back then. So we had Yahoo groups, and I joined some Yahoo groups for moms with kids. And they would say, as we're getting to know each other, so what did you do before you had kids? I'm like, oh, I'm a realtor. And they're like, are you still a realtor? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh my God, that's so great, because we are bursting at the seams. We need a new house. We need your help.
yeah,
Can you please help us? And I'm like, yeah, of
it
course.
is.
And
And
my business off even more with no marketing, no nothing,
yeah,
just being
because
part
you're a
of these
relationship
groups.
builder, and that's
Exactly.
that's what I've always called it. Is I'm a relationship
Hmm.
realtor
Yep.
because I connect people to people, and that's
Yes.
along the way. My tag is real estate agent, and I have amazing systems and amazing people and
Hmm.
processes because I am a systems person.
Yep.
So I've built all these along the way.
Hmm.
So all my clients are like very happy, and so they
Yes.
refer people to me, and it's just been
Yeah.
a beautiful, beautiful business to have for the
Hmm.
past 20 years, and I'm so grateful. So I love being
Yeah.
a sales matcher. And I will tell you one thing that I knew, and this was kind of when I took over my own journey.
Hmm.
I was at Keller Williams, and I was told I was doing an open house, and I was told, you go to these groups, they tell you what you should do. And
Hmm.
it's like, I never thought to say, oh, I don't want to do that, but that doesn't mean I can't do something else. Let me figure out
Hmm.
what works for me. At that time, it was just like, oh, well, if I don't do it that way, then I must be a bad agent. Well, they
Hmm.
told me I needed to go walk neighborhoods and pass out invitations to
Hmm.
my open house. So I got all
Hmm.
worked up, and I'm like, I could do
Part
this.
of
I
that
can do this.
7-level open house.
Yeah. I could do this. I could do this. And so I pulled up I had my things all printed out, and I
Mhm.
pulled up to the neighborhood, and I was like, had my path all marked out, and I froze. I could not get out
Mm.
of the car. I just started crying like, oh my God, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm not going to do this, but this is just not my thing, but I'm still going to
Mhm.
be a realtor, and I'll prove that I can do it my way.
Mhm. Yeah.
So that's when I first started realizing, like, I went against the grain. I never
Mhm.
really was a do it like everybody else is going to do
Mhm.
it. In fact, I will just go out of my way to find my own path and create it. But hey, I'll share it with everybody too, so that
Mhm.
all of those people that are out there that are like me know that's okay. You don't
Mhm.
have to do that. You don't have to be that level of a real estate agent to have a business. There's enough business to go around in
Mhm.
this business.
Yeah.
So, I
Well,
love it.
and yeah, and see, that's the thing, is that when you realize that you're a matcher and that there's nothing wrong with you, then all you need to do is focus in on what you really love. So I had a client who really loved to cook. Like, that was his thing. His passion was food. And he loved being a real estate agent, but he had a hard time really building relationships and things like that, because everything, the way they were teaching it, felt really wrong to him. And he just couldn't connect in with the things they were telling him to do, even though they called it relationship building, because
Yeah.
relationship building for them, the sales hunter trainers, oftentimes is calling everybody and asking that question and sending out postcards, and then people feel like really awkward. Like, you want me to call my aunt and ask her if she knows anybody looking to buy or sell a house? That doesn't feel like relationship building to me,
Yeah.
you know? And so this is where it came in. And so the thing that I suggested to him, I said, you know, your passion is cooking. How often do you have dinner parties? And he goes, oh, well, I don't. And I said, well, do you like to entertain? He goes, yeah, I love it when people eat my food and they enjoy it. And I love that. I said, so why don't you throw some dinner parties and invite people and have everybody give a chance to kind of introduce themselves and talk about themselves and kind of go around the table and, you know, create a topic or something. And he goes, that's great. He started doing that. And his
Yeah.
business took off because he was just in taking something that he was really passionate about, cooking, and then sharing that with other people and using it as his open into relationship building and sales matching. The reason I call it
Awesome.
sales matching is because your whole goal is to match what you do, what you sell, with the person who needs it most. And that feels like a win-win for you. And then you feel really lit up about making that connection and facilitating that process. So, you know, that's when we get stuck in that space of feeling like we're off or we're wrong or there's something that's we're not doing right. We have to look at our, you know, my whole productive flow methodology, our emotions, our energy, our time, and our focus, and really look in at, are we creating what we actually want to be living? Or is there something coming up emotionally that's blocking it? Because a lot of times what's blocking the matcher is the fear of being rejected, the fear of being kicked out of the tribe, the fear of being told, I don't like you, I don't want anything to do with you, get away from me, stop calling me. Like, that's what we're most afraid of, is not being loved. And that experience is what causes us as a sales matcher to shrink back rather than focus in on our strengths and blossom from there.
That's beautiful. I also think that sales matcher, something that goes with that is attraction marketing,
Mm-hmm.
putting yourself out there, telling your
Yeah,
stories, getting to know people,
absolutely.
being vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
sharing some of your business. Like,
Yeah.
instead of doing some of the things like the traditional real estate lead generation things,
Mm-hmm.
which work too, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're on this call and this isn't resonating, then you might be a sales, what'd you call
Hunter,
it? A
sales
hunter.
hunter.
You might be a
Yeah.
hunter and not a matcher. And there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with that. We're not
Nope.
saying that. We're just saying that there's a lot of people that feel left out in this business
Mm-hmm.
because they are a sales matcher, and there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing wrong with that. Don't give up. Find your people and do
Mm-hmm.
what you need to do and not worry about what the others are doing.
Absolutely. And just like I have and Dawn, you have, we both forged our own path. We saw, hey, these people are doing something and they say this is the right way to do it, but I think I can find another way to do it. And then we did that. And that's why
Yeah.
we both have built successful businesses, because we've decided to forge our own path. But, you know, a lot of people don't have that sense of like courage and
Courage,
resilience to,
leadership.
yes, to go out and do that, because they've been, and it's not that they don't have it in them, it's just they've been told so many times that they're wrong that they have a hard time believing anything but that story.
Well,
And
and they
so,
worry about breaking a rule too. That's been
yes,
something that I have learned with a
100%.
lot of real estate
Mm-hmm.
agents is they're like, "Is this okay?" I'm like, "This
Yes.
is your business. You get to do whatever you want. You got to
Yeah.
follow a few because I'm in
Mm-hmm.
Texas, but a few guidelines, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, you get to be you. And
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's what's going to
Yeah.
light you.
Yep, absolutely. And that comes from conditioning as a kid, of
Yeah.
being told you have to follow the
Yeah.
rules. You have to do things this way, even from, you know, your parents to your school to
Well, that explains
all of
a
it.
lot because
Oh
I was
yeah,
taught
that
to break
explains a
those
lot for
rules.
us. Yeah.
What rules?
Yeah, what rules? We took care of ourselves.
Yeah, no
Yes,
wonder.
but that's the thing, is that most people, if they grew up in experience where they had a lot of rules as a kid, they had a lot of rules in school, and they followed the rules because they were afraid of getting into trouble. then what happens is then that same conditioning feeds into their career, and they want to make a big impact. They want to really help and serve people. They see real estate as a really solid option to doing that. And then they shrink back because there's that feeling of, I'm going to do it wrong. I'm going to get in trouble and no one's going to like me. And then that pulls them back, and it prevents them from creating their own path, from saying, I can do this my way. And our strengths are relationship building. They are in leadership and in education and in sharing your story, connecting with other people, listening, patience, all of these things feed into being a matcher. And look at what you've done, where you've gone from real estate to building a program to help and support other realtors by using what you've learned and created, and then putting that out to share with others. I mean, that's matcher all over the place.
Yeah.
I went into coaching, same
it.
thing,
Yeah. I don't want to be a coach. I'll send them to you or a couple of others, but I know, I'm like, I just want to be really clear with everyone. I am not a coach. I need coaching myself, but I mean, that's what we do. When you do something for so long, I think you get to be where you just have more confidence, for one thing. And I want to help other real estate agents find that confidence a whole lot quicker than I did. Yeah. And that is what I'm always trying to help my team do. And so, and then, Real Estate Untangled, my group that I know this is streaming in, is a lot of EXP Power Girls. And really, that's my whole purpose with our Power Girls group too, which Angela is now one of our leaders. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And, it's just about empowering all of us and everyone to find a place where you could be you, where you can share that you're a real estate agent, that you're going to provide a great service, and put yourself out there. People will come to you, but you got to put yourself out there. That's something that we're not trying to say sales matchers, we don't have to do that, because we do have to show people that we are a real estate agent. And my program is all about helping you do that in a more subtle way, not calling people and asking them for real estate business, but by doing subtle things with your VIP people, fun things that we like to do as sales matchers, put events together, host things, do pop buys. That used to be one of my favorite things to do, was pop buys. Let me bring you a gift, because I love giving. And on that gift, it said, I love referrals, and I got them. So just different fun things to do. So anyway, I'm proud to be a sales matcher. So thank you.
Me too.
I'll fly that flag all day long.
Yep, absolutely.
So, perfect. Well, I am going to put this on my YouTube channel, Angela. I'm going to find your podcast link and put that on there as well, so that anybody who wants to follow you and hear from you more can. And
awesome.
I so appreciate you coming on and doing this call with us today.
Yeah, no problem.
If we have any questions, if anyone is in the chat, or we'll follow this even after. So if you're watching the recording, please reach out to us. If this is you and you need more guidance, we would love to help you in any way that we can. So I'm always available on Messenger or Workplace if you're with EXP. And we will see you in the business, hopefully. Don't give up. Don't give up.
No, absolutely. And they can find me on Messenger and in Workplace as well.
Yep. Awesome. All right. Bye, ladies. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.